my name is Trent. This is Rams Talk. How about them Rams? Yeah, feeling good. I tell you what, I woke up, so I live in Germany. I wasn't staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning to watch a Rams game, but I couldn't really sleep. So I was up like an hour and a half before my alarm was going to go off, and I was just staring at my phone like, do I look? I was so nervous. Did they lose? Did they win? Did they lose? Did they win? And I look and I check it and they win. I get so happy. I wake up my wife. You know, it just sets the tone for the week. Then to add like a little cherry on top of it all, the 49ers lose to the Cardinals. Like, it couldn't be any sweeter than that. Rams beat Cowboys, Cardinals beat Niners. I mean, that's just the best way to start your week. That's the best way to wake up on a Monday. Best way. So pumped. It's Wednesday now, and I'm still fired up about it. It's the residual, right? So anyways, for all the Rams fans watching this, welcome to the Rams Dallas Cowboys recap edition. If you're new, subscribe. Nothing but great content here. Thank you to all the legacy subscribers for all the comments. Bill, AMS, all you guys are awesome, and really appreciate it. And yeah, find me on Instagram, LA Rams Talk, Twitter at Real LA Rams Talk. So let's just get into this. Like I said, Rams win, Niners lose. So sweet. But these I'm going to go through some top points that I found through this game. It took me a while to put this together because I wanted to get a lot of data. The one thing I couldn't find was formation breakdowns, like how many, like 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 45 personnel, all that stuff. I didn't find it, so we're going to go without that. But I mean, I did notice a significant change in the offense. We'll get to that. So this is a game in previous years before McVay that the Rams lose. If this is a Jeff Fisher team, the Rams lose this game. 100%. Right? Close games just never went the Rams' way. It's like if you watched the Lions and the Bears the other day, Lions could have won that game, but it's the Lions. So these aren't our old Rams anymore. This is McVay Rams. So like, tip of the cap. Thank you, Sean McVay. Thank you for being a great coach. Thank you for giving us wins against good teams, right? So that's a huge difference. This is like a new feeling for us. I just assume more like we're going to lose more often than we're going to win just because I've got that like beaten down syndrome, right? So big stats here. Third down conversions. I mentioned this in the last video leading up to the game preview. In the last matchup last year, Dallas Cowboys versus Rams, Rams are 4 for 12 on third down conversions. This year, this game, 9 for 17 on third down conversions. And I want to say most of those current third down conversions were short distances. So the Rams were always putting themselves in good spots on third down. It wasn't 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, right, where you needed the big chunk plays. They were manageable, whereas the Cowboys were 3 for 12. So I mean, like, the Rams won this game not because of a missed PI call, which 50-50 on that. Don't even get me. We're not going to go down that path with the Goff getting hit in the head, throwing the pick, or the PI thing. Okay, the Rams outplayed the Cowboys in this game. If you're a Cowboys fan and you're watching this, you know this. You know the Rams outplayed the Cowboys. The Cowboys did not deserve to win this game. And speaking of Cowboys fans, I have to say that the majority of them who commented on my last video, good stuff. Nice people. Like, you know, yeah, you get a couple trolls like someone saying, oh, Connor Williams had his way with AD last year. It's like, come on, dude. Really? Come on, people. Or Everson Griffin's going to own Big Wit. Like, no. So, going to call that out. But for the most part, Cowboys fans came in peace. Respect the fan base. No problem there. But the Rams outplayed the Cowboys in this game. The Rams deserved to win. So, third down conversions, they won that. Total yards, 422 to 380. Outgained the Cowboys. Time of possession, 35 minutes to 24 minutes. Goff versus Dak. Goff had more yards, 269 to 244. And seriously, I don't put that interception on Goff. Like, let's just be real with that. That shouldn't have been an interception. So that wasn't that wasn't his fault. And I'm not making an excuse, that's just real deal. Cowboys, they scored 17 points in this game. They averaged 27 points all of last year. So the Rams, that's a big deal. Red zone conversion though, Rams 2 for 5. If the Rams were 3 for 5 and scoring a touchdown, then the score and the hit in the helmet doesn't count. They don't get that. The score, the Rams are up by 10 points easy. Okay, so let's just be real. Now, one thing I will say in Dallas's defense is that they had a lot of key injuries during the game. But to me, Van Der Esch going down, that's a big deal. Cam Irving going out, but Cam Irving wasn't a world beater in the first place, but still, that tests your depth. But to me, the biggest loss that the Cowboys had was Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin, I think, would have helped a lot. And the fact that he went down, Dalton Schultz comes in, immediately drops a pass, gets called for a penalty, and then he drops 2 passes in the game. So the drop off of not having Jarwin in there to Dalton Schultz really, I think, affected the Cowboys. And you never want to see guys get injured, so that sucks for that. But so those are the top key points. Now, offensively and defensively for the offense, to me, this was huge news. The Rams' offensive evolution. How the Rams played against the Cowboys is how the Rams should have played in the second half against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They should have gone in at the half and looked at it and been like, oh wow, everything that we do is not working. Our philosophy is wrong. Going these deep, developing plays, chunk plays, going down the field all the time. What was Brady doing in the Super Bowl? Dinking and dunking. And what did the Rams kind of do in this game? They just took the efficient play. They weren't just airing it out, because when you're facing a really good defensive front like the Cowboys have, you got to get the ball out quick. And Goff was one of the guys who held onto the ball the longest, in his career. So that is a huge change. Basically, McVay said, okay, what the Patriots did and what a lot of teams did to us last year, where we didn't change. We just kept doing, just banging our head into the wall. We're going to do this. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. Instead of saying, oh, wow, if we make some adjustments and change our approach and be more efficient and not so prolific, then I think, we can minimize. Goff got sacked once, right? He got the ball out. Offensive line played better because he didn't have to hold on to it so long. So this efficient game plan, this evolution, we saw it. This happened. And I think maybe that's having an offensive coordinator this year and practicing against the 6-1 front and just really kind of understanding, okay, this is our opponent and this is how we neutralize what they do best. So to me, that was massive. I'll get into that more in a sec. And then also on the defensive side, holding the Cowboys to 3 points in the second half is huge. Huge. 3 points in the second, a field goal is all Dallas got in the second half. So those were key adjustments. The defense came up big, especially when you have a new defensive coordinator implementing a new scheme. There were a lot of missed tackles. We'll let that slide, mainly because it's a first game, a lot of knocking off the rust, a lot of poor angles. Those things can be fixed. But the defense played better than I thought they would play, considering the new scheme and new coordinator. We'll get into that more. So going back to the offense, right? So, McVay evolved. He looked different. This is what good coaches do. The Belichick offense hasn't looked the same since Brady first came on the scene to now. It's gone up and down. Look at Andy Reid. He gets Patrick Mahomes. What does he do? He changes the offense to fit Patrick Mahomes. So good coaches look at the inventory, see what they have, realize the O-line didn't play well last year, realize Goff was being the gunslinger, and that didn't work. So how do you take what you have and how do you mold that to adding new wrinkles, opponent-based matchup? So the offense looked way more under control. The short game was there. He got the ball out fast. And this really should have been the game plan after the Super Bowl. And a lot of misdirection sweeps, a lot of power sweeps, power draw. So just some different wrinkles, different things we see in this game. I mean, Gerald Everett was lining up as a fullback on a couple of plays. So, really, really happy to see that. Now, Goff was put in situations to succeed. He looked far more comfortable he did in this game than he did almost at any point last year. He never clicked it last year. I mean, he was firing. Like I said, he was a gunslinger last year, but it was like they were just it seemed like everything was forced. And this game was just like he was playing within the structure, within the system, okay? And that's what you want to see. Build some confidence. This is a confidence builder. Kevin O'Connell, coming from the Redskins, he was what he did with the Redskins and Dwayne Haskins when he started calling more plays and being an ex-quarterback, he knows that quarterbacks build confidence just like anyone. So like it's like in basketball, you make your first couple shots, then you start feeling good, or you miss a bunch, but then you make a couple, then you kind of get your rhythm back. So getting confidence early in a game snowballs throughout the whole game. And that's what, when you saw at the end of the year last year for Dwayne Haskins of the Redskins, he was just doing some small passes, but he was getting his confidence, and it really helped him develop. So this is what they're doing: small passes, getting that confidence, building it up. He looked, like I said, was very under control, and he had a lot of layups with the running back. So as Jordan Rodriguez of The Athletic commented from even Football Outsiders, is that the last year the Rams ranked last in targets to running backs. And in this game, I think they had 4, or at least 4 receptions. So when you can do those things, those are layups for Jared Goff, where he can just dink and dunk it out. So like it's good to see that coming back, the passes to the running backs. Now, 8 players had receptions in the game. So spreading the ball out, it's just like keeping the defense honest, keeping the defense unaware of everything that's happening, who's going to be a target. So what I also really liked, and mad props to Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. So they were working it outside the Woods, and then they were running it inside with Akers and Brown. Outside with Woods, inside the Akers and Browns. And they were using Woods around with the sweeps. So they're extending out the defense and then bringing the attack down the middle. So that was awesome. And like, let's just call it what it is. Robert Woods is the Rams' B&B, bread and butter, right? When all else fails, Robert Woods. You need a big play in a timely moment, a third down conversion, Cooper Kupp or Bobby Trees, right? B&B. So, he's not the fastest guy, but he had 90 yards after the catch, or after the handoff, but after the catch. So he had, I think, 119 all-purpose yards, including his end around. So he averaged 15 yards after the catch. That's crazy. So one of the most underrated receiver in all of football, Bobby Trees, doesn't have the top end 40 speed maybe of Tyreek Hill, but he gets the ball. He runs 15 yards after he catches it. That's what good receivers should do. The Van Jefferson deep ball, that was the longest pass for Goff on the day, the 31 yards, but that was a carbon copy of the catch he made in the preseason with David Long all up on him, and that was great coverage by Trayvon Diggs. I mean, tip of the cap, but I mean, that was a perfectly placed ball. That is a ball that only a system quarterback can make. If anyone is questioning Jared Goff's arm talent, shut up. Okay, just shut up. No, that's just inaccurate at best. Like I said, Gerald Everett played fullback on a couple plays. I remember he had a drop, and then like an easy drop, pass that he dropped, and then Higbee had a large pass or catch after that. And if you want to look at snap count, Higbee 65 snaps to Gerald Everett's 24. So it's already starting to look like Higbee's going to be in on most of the plays. And there you go. In terms of the running back, Malcolm Brown. Tip of the cap to Malcolm Brown. Now, everyone likes the shiny thing. Everyone likes the new thing, But sometimes you got to look around and see what you already have. And Malcolm Brown just never had a time to shine. But when he played and spelled Todd Gurley, he played well. I don't think any Ram fan out there was like, "Oh man, this is like this is kind of a garbage back." But he just never had a real shot. And he's a one-cut guy, but sometimes that's all you need. He's not Ezekiel Elliott, and that's fine. He had 110 all-purpose yards, 3 catches for 31 yards, and 4.4 yards per carry. Last year, the Rams averaged 3.7 yards per carry. So Malcolm Brown, first touchdown scored in SoFi Stadium, Malcolm Brown. I'm happy for the guy. And in terms of touches or snaps, he had 44 snaps. Cam Akers had 24 snaps, and Henderson had 5 snaps. So Henderson really didn't see him much. Cam Akers looked all right. Actually, Cam Akers had a higher Pro Football Focus rating because he broke more tackles. And as I'm going to get into some Pro Football Focus stuff, there's some good data, but then there's also eye tests. So I think Akers played well, but I think Brown actually really looked good. And one other shout out, Josh Reynolds, that catch he had, another good coverage by Trayvon Diggs, but really good catch and run by Josh Reynolds out there. And he had 37 snaps to Van Jefferson's 33, so about equal, but the advantage going to Josh Reynolds. Now, the offensive line, oh man, right? Oh man, that was like the big question mark of the whole season. I saved the best for last on offense. Andrew Whitworth, and I haven't refreshed these after the Monday night games, but going into the Monday night games, Andrew Whitworth was the highest rated tackle, according to Pro Football Focus, with a 95 overall. Let's see here. Yeah, 95. First rated tackle. Havenstein, 13th rated tackle. That's amazing. That's crazy. And so they rate this on, essentially these ratings come from, you have a pass blocking grade and a run blocking grade, and then they combine them to give you your overall. But essentially, is every snap, do you win your assignment versus the defender, right? And so you're graded on every snap, on a running play, on a passing play. So his passing grade was higher than his running grade, but still he was 95 overall. So Whitworth was great. Havenstein was pretty even, a little higher on the running than the passing, but still graded out 71. Compared to last year when he was like almost all these guys except for Whitworth were like last. Austin Blythe, our center. So Austin Blythe last year had only taken practice reps in the guard position because that's what he played the previous year or two. But then when Brian Allen went down, they just put him right there at center, and he didn't really have any reps, and so he was like getting back to playing center on the fly. This year, he goes in as center. That's what he is. That's what he knows. That's what he can expect. Expectations are everything. And he was the 3rd highest ranked center according to Pro Football Focus with an overall 78 grade, which is weird because he graded at an 82 for the pass and an 84 for the run. So he was great. I mean, a lot of this is, these guys are they're not having to block as long, like a second fewer than usually with Goff holding on the ball, less than this game than he did last year. Austin Corbett, 6th among all guards with a 79 overall grade. Great to see Corbett doing well. He did really good run in pass. And then Joe Noteboom was the only guy that had a really bad grade. Overall 48. He was ranked 49th among all guards. Well, and his run blocking, is this correct? Sorry guys, I had everything backwards. His run blocking his pass blocking was better than his run blocking. So I didn't indent the columns correctly. But anyways, the rankings are there. So Noteboom was the only guy who struggled on that offensive line, and he struggled primarily in run blocking. In pass blocking, he was much better, which, he was a left tackle in college, so maybe he's just more of a tackle, have that mentality, but I think he'll get better. Now, in terms of, and I know there's more defense, but I'm still going to mention this. So for all the Cowboys fans, you talked about Connor Williams owning AD. Let's look at Connor Williams' pass blocking grade in this game. And his pass blocking, I think he was like in the last, like he was last or like 3rd to bottom in pass blocking at 27. Do you know why? Because Aaron Donald was wrecking him all day. So don't even talk to me. So anyways, the offensive line, bottom line, the offensive line stepped up. And I expect them to do well as long as Goff doesn't hold onto the ball forever. And as long as they get more reps together. So all right, there you go. That's the offensive side of the ball. Defense, pretty damn good considering it was the first showing with a new defensive coordinator and a new scheme. So holding in the 17 points, I'm very happy. And I mean, 3 points in the second half. Let's talk about Jordan Fuller, 6th round pick out of The Ohio State University. He started over Taylor Rapp. He led the team in tackles. He had 71 snaps to Taylor Rapp's 15. Taylor Rapp was in the game at the end when the Rams went into a dime or a larger nickel. So you had that extra safety / linebacker-ish kind of guy, defensive back, if you will. Like I said, he led the team in tackles, and he had that play of the game where he tackled CeeDee Lamb. You guys have all seen it. But I mean, like, that is the stuff. That is the stuff. And no one was talking about Jordan Fuller. Like, Terrell Burgess, 0 defensive snaps. He had snaps on special teams, but 0 defensive snaps. David Long Jr., same thing. 0 defensive snaps, but he had snaps on special teams. So that Jordan Fuller is the gem on the defensive side of the ball from the draft. Not Terrell Lewis, not Terrell Burgess. Trying to think, any other defensive guys? Yeah, it was Jordan Fuller. I don't think anyone saw this coming after we had the draft, right? He was kind of an afterthought. It was all about Terrell Burgess. So Jordan Fuller, props where props are due. Let's just hope the tackling for the entire team gets better. Micah Kaiser had several missed tackles. But, he's better than that, and he'll play better than that. The whole team will. So, they can clean that up. But Micah Kaiser also, I think, I think I have it here somewhere. Oh, no, that's just defensive backs. Oh, no, Micah Kaiser was, he ranked 37th overall by Pro Football Focus by linebackers, but he was better against the run than he was against in coverage. And then Kenny Young was 24th among all corner linebackers, and he excelled in coverage. So, that's how you got your run stopper and your coverage guy. And Corey Littleton ranked 33rd. So Kenny Young ranked better than Corey Littleton, and Corey Littleton ranked just ahead of Micah Kaiser. So granted, small sample size. This isn't the end-all, be-all of everything, but this is just kind of one game trend against a good offense. That's the thing. They played against a good offense. This wasn't the Jets. So yeah, but okay. When I think of Aaron Donald, I think of Miley Cyrus. They're wrecking balls. You see that play, that clip of Aaron Donald going in and knocking over 2 offensive linemen and then going in and knocking over Dak. You see that play where he just bull rushes past Connor Williams and then just picks up and slams Ezekiel Elliott down. Like, he was unstoppable, like always. And I think that there's a stat, I couldn't find it for that it was up to date, but going back to the 2018 season, the Rams were, they won every game where Aaron Donald had a sack. So as soon as he got a sack in this game, ooh, that's a good omen. That's a good omen. So, I mean, he was just a beast, like always. Sebastian Joseph Day played well, very high ranked. Brockers had a sack. That's great to see. Leonard Floyd, I think, was a mixed bag for me. I think he played well. He had a sack. But when you think about it, the right tackle position for the Cowboys in this game was a straight-up dumpster fire. They should have put Aaron Donald over there the whole game, just line up way on the outside and just have him come in every play, boom, getting around that right tackle. So the fact that he was matched up against, let's face it, a below-average right tackle, and he had 1 sack, really, but I mean, he did other things well, coverage and run stopping. Ja'Kai Polite, I know, at least had a pass rush. Obo was in there for a play or 2. I saw that, so that's good. They're getting some reps. And then the Rams I noticed the Rams the DBs played off the receivers. So, they let him get the short plays. It was like, hey, you can have everything in front of us, but you're not getting behind us. And that's why the Cowboys had a lot of completions. Dak went at Ramsey a lot, right? So Ramsey and Darius Williams were on the outside, and Troy Hill was primarily in the slot. And a lot of those catches that went against Troy Hill is because he was giving cushion, but they didn't really challenge Troy Hill a lot. They were challenging Ramsey. You notice Ramsey had a great game. You know what I love about Ramsey is how physical he is. He doesn't look like a big dude. He looks kind of slight, but he pops guys. That play where this is what the Staley defense does very well, disguise their scheme. So he's guarding someone on the outside. He immediately turns around, goes back to the inside receiver, and just pops him. I think that was that when he popped Amari Cooper, right? Popped him. How many times did it look like he just leveled a guy? I love that. Not only is he a great one-on-one man defender, but he's physical, and that's amazing. So Troy Hill was in the slot, and if you want to look at the Pro Football Focus rankings, like I said before Monday Night Football, Darius Williams was the highest ranked one at 21, Ramsey at 24, and Troy Hill at 49. But that was interesting. Troy Hill was playing the slot. How many people out there had Troy Hill playing the slot and not Terrell Burgess or David Long Jr., right? So very interesting to see how Taylor Rapp didn't start. Troy Hill's in the slot. So interesting. I don't know if that's just because of the trio of receivers that the Cowboys had. It was specific to the Cowboys, or that's just how they're feeling going forward. I have a feel, there's gonna be a lot of feeling out as we go along. But all in all, just awesome. I mean, yeah, Sloman had that doink that I'm still like hearing from here. But he hit those other field goals. That was just rookie jitters to me. Greg the Leg went wide right. That's Greg the Leg outside of 50 yards anymore is, you're getting it. That's what you're getting. So feeling really good. I think all of you are too. Yeah, minor nitpicks here and there, but to hold the Cowboys to 17 points, to win the first game. I mean, that, play very efficient football, great defense, good signs from the rookies. That's awesome stuff. And we're going into Philly next week. Philly's really banged up. They lost to the Redskins. I mean, and I don't think they're in a good place. However, this is like a trap game for me. I don't want to get too cocky and confident. I feel good about it. I'll let you know more about it in my game preview coming up. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you made it to the end, congratulations. 27 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a like. Whatever. Leave what you want. Just say hi, leave an emoji, I don't care. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll drop something in a couple of days, I think Friday for the Philly game. Feeling good, like I said. But as always, go win.